Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is going to be about several lies that narcissistic people need you to believe, rely on you believing about them or about yourself so that they can continue to exploit you and get away with their behaviour. And one of the first lies that a narcissist relies on those around them believing is that the narcissist is amazing, the narcissist is incredible, the narcissist will do anything for you, which is often why when you first meet a narcissistic person in the love bombing stage of a relationship, they will treat you better than anyone ever has. When they're out there impressing strangers, they're going to treat those strangers so well that those strangers come up to you and tell you how lucky you are to have that person in your life. Often by this point, the narcissist mask has slipped and they've revealed who they can also be, so that you can't quite work out why people think they're so amazing, yet you once also thought they were an incredibly amazing person. Now, we're all capable of putting our best selves forward when we're entering a new relationship, when we're going to a job interview, when we're starting a new hobby. We are all more than capable of putting our best side forward. And then at some point, our worst side might show. However, most of us can take responsibility for the worst of our behaviour, and most of us aren't showing our best in order to exploit or manipulate. Narcissistic people show you their best to manipulate. They only do for you to get something in return for themselves. They want you to believe that they're always going to be there for you. They're always going to be the one that you can fall back on, that you can rely on, so that you feel gratitude towards them. You feel grateful towards them, that they are there for you, that they're willing to help you and support you. Only once they've got what they want from you, you'll often find at your actual times of need, times of crisis, they disappear on you. They're not interested in celebrating special occasions because it's not about them, unless they can put on that charismatic charm and that grandiose act where they want those around them to believe how amazing they are at this special occasion they've just done for somebody. All other times they're going to go all out to ruin those occasions, yet they will find a way to blame you as to why they ruined the occasion for you. Any celebration of yours, they're going to put down, they're going to mock, or they're going to try and take the credit for. Share any good news with them and they will not be there to support you. Share any bad news with them, they're not going to be there to support you. However, they want you to believe that they will be, which is why in the beginning they will, and then they will find a way to blame you as to why they weren't. So you don't question their behaviour, you question your own. Narcissistic people want you to believe that their ex is obsessed with them, that their ex is bitter, that their family were never there for them. And we can all have that person within our lives that wasn't particularly there for us. So when someone is telling us that someone wasn't there for them, we can almost relate and feel bad and want to support and want to help. However, with a narcissistic person, they've twisted the story. That person was there for them. The narcissist just took advantage of that person to the point where that person had enough, created boundaries. The narcissist then got offended by these boundaries and then accuses the person of being bitter or obsessed or crazy or never been there for them, so that the narcissist can escape accountability. They don't want to take responsibility for their behaviour. Some narcissistic people are a little bit smarter. However, with the majority, the easiest way to notice this is, do they ever take responsibility for anything in their life? Because if they never take responsibility, there's a high chance you're dealing with a narcissistic person who's just trying to pass the blame on to everybody else. However, they want you to believe that the ex is the bitter one. They want you to believe that their family wasn't there for them because they don't want you getting too close to the truth. They also want you to believe that they would never do anything like that to you. They would never hurt you. Whatever the ex put them through, they'd never do to you, because they know what it's like. They know how painful it is. They know how heartbreaking it is. And then they go right ahead and do the things to you that you are willing to put up with. They won't do the things. If they know that you were cheated on in your past and that just ended the relationship, unless they want to end the relationship, they're not going to risk this with you. So they'll claim they'll never do something to you, and then they go right ahead and do it, and then they turn around and claim that, well, if you'd have been there for me, if you'd have paid me more attention, so that you work harder to get the relationship back on track with the person who claimed they were so amazing, because of all their suffering, you want to show them that you will be the one that will support them through thick and thin. And then they want you to believe that they would never hurt you again. And then they go right ahead and hurt you again. The first time somebody hurts us, that's our warning as to whether the person will take responsibility for their behaviour, be remorseful for their behaviour, and want to repair the damage because it was a genuine mistake. And if they do those things and don't repeat it, then it was a genuine mistake. When somebody hurts you, fails to take responsibility, doesn't feel remorseful, finds a way to blame and shame you, and then repeats their behaviour, that's our lesson, that is who they are as a person, because we're all capable of making mistakes. However, a repeated mistake isn't a mistake, it's a choice that they make. Then the more we forgive them, the worse their behaviour gets. However, they also want you to believe that they promise. I promise I'll never hurt you. I promise I'll never hurt you again. I promise I'll always be there for you. I'll promise that I will do this tomorrow. Yet they will put off till tomorrow what can be done today, because they're just looking to get their own way. So when they want something from you, they'll promise to do something for you. And then once you've done what they needed, they fail to deliver on that promise. Yet they find a way again to blame and shame you, to claim that you're the one that forgot to remind them. Well, if you hadn't have done this, then they would have done that. Avoiding taking responsibility for their failure to act on their words. Their words are false promises in order to get you to believe and trust within them. However, with a narcissistic person, they are a little tricky, because when you've finally had enough and want to break free, if they haven't got a new supply lined up, they will breadcrumb you. They will deliver on some of those promises that they made to you, because they want you to think of how amazing they are. And they also want you to blame yourself as to why they didn't deliver before. So now you've done X, Y, and Z for them. They're going to breadcrumb you by delivering on some of those promises. And when you have finally had enough, they want you to believe that they're the best you've ever had, that you're never going to find anybody like them, that nobody else is going to put up with you. And as usually the situation you've found yourself in with a narcissist, where they are setting an environment of instability, insecurity and fear, you're that full of anxiety, you're that full of self-doubt, you're questioning who you are as a person. You've changed who you are as a person to suit them, because they've devalued you at each and every turn. So they've sunk you, that you believe that no one else would put up with you, and you take their word, and they want you to believe this. When a narcissist turns around and says to you, you'll never find someone like me, that is the whole point in breaking free. Another lie that narcissistic people need you to believe is it wasn't their fault. Again, they are not interested in taking responsibility. What they want you to believe is that it was all your fault, all you're doing, so that you don't speak to other people about what's happening, because you're that ashamed of your behaviour, and therefore other people can't then inform you of what is actually happening to you. And so that you don't try to hold the narcissist accountable, because you're the one that feels bad. A narcissistic person will not apologise to you. If they do, it's a false apology. If I'm sorry, if you hadn't, I'm sorry, but if you didn't, I'm sorry you misunderstood me. I'm sorry for whatever you think I did. I'm sorry you're not over this already. They don't give a genuine apology, and they don't like apologising because they don't take responsibility. However, they expect you to apologise to them. They expect you to make it up to them for everything they've put you through. Once you catch a narcissist cheating, they will never forgive you again. They don't trust you as a person. Once you catch them at something, they don't trust you again. They have those double standards. They expect you to forgive them. They expect you to trust them. They expect you to believe them. However, they won't forgive, they won't trust, and they won't believe in you. You're crazy is another lie that a narcissistic person leads you to believe. And with their gaslighting, you can often believe that you are the one that's going crazy, that you are the one that's at fault, that you are the one that's causing all the problems, that if only you hadn't have approached them about that subject at that particular time, then maybe they wouldn't have reacted to you in the negative way they reacted to you. After all, you know full well that when a narcissist did something to you, you reacted to them, and then you felt remorseful for your behavior. Narcissistic people know exactly what buttons to push to get you to react to them so that they can blame everything on you. And as you take responsibility for your behavior, you feel ashamed, you feel bad, you try to make it up to them, not recognizing how they are provoking you. However, you don't even have to provoke a narcissist. You just have to tell them the truth. And they can react, and they can react badly, and they find a way to blame you. You know what I'm like in the morning, you know what I'm like in an evening. It's nothing to do with that. It's you need to learn what they are like every time they don't want to be held responsible for something. They're going to go all out to rage in such a way, be it the passive aggressive silent treatments and sulks or the threats and the intimidation, to get you to stop calling them out so that they can continue their hurtful, toxic behaviour towards you. So they want you to believe that you're the one that's going crazy, you're the one that's causing all the problems. And due to the cognitive dissonance within the relationship from all the gaslighting, often you can't work out what is genuinely happening. So again, you doubt and question yourself and believe that you're the one that's going crazy and that they're the one that's willing to put up with you, they're the one that's willing to help you. And while they're driving you crazy, they will go around telling everybody every negative thing that you have ever done and how you're lucky to have them, to get people to tell the narcissist how amazing they are and how brilliant they are at putting up with you, because people can't see what's happening until after the event, until it's done to themselves. And when you do finally have enough, when you do finally break free, if a narcissist hasn't got a new source of supply lined up, they want you to believe that they will change. They promised to deliver on those promises they failed to deliver on while they had you, but now they've not got you. Suddenly they've seen the light and they want to be there for you. They want to go to counselling. They want to become a better person. You're the only one that can ever help them. And as you can feel sorry for them, you can end up taking them back and trying to help them. Only once you take a narcissistic person back, their behaviour doesn't get better, their behaviour gets worse, because all they learned is that they could get away with it. All they learned is what they needed to say to worm their way back in, to get what they needed. There are plenty of lies that narcissistic people need you to believe about them in order for them to be able to exploit you. Any you noticed, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.